We're about to pull back the veil, to cross the threshold between the ordinary and the extraordinary. There exists a level of understanding known only to a rare few, those who have unlocked the ability to shift reality itself. This isn't just theory, it's not philosophy. It's the mechanism by which the universe responds to you. You've been living under a set of invisible rules, rules designed to keep you aligned with the expectations of the world. But those who've cracked the code, those who hold what some call HiddenKnowledge degree knowledge, know the truth. Those rules are not fixed. Reality is far more flexible than you've been led to believe, and the first key to bending it starts with a single powerful realization. Perception is power. Most people assume they're experiencing the world objectively. They wake up, go through their day, and think, this is just how things are. But perception is not passive. It's an active filter, one that shapes, colors, and even distorts reality. The truth is, you're not seeing the world as it is. You're seeing the world as you are. And this is where the journey begins. This is the gateway to the HiddenKnowledge degree knowledge. So if you're ready to unlock more, subscribe now, because what comes next will change the way you see everything. Those who've cracked the code don't wait for proof before they believe. They step into a new identity first, and reality adjusts to match. Most people want evidence before belief, but the elite know evidence appears after belief is embodied. You must believe in the version of you who already has what you desire, and then reality will shape itself to that vision. Because here's the truth. Reality doesn't just respond to your thoughts, it bends to your identity. And deeper still, it responds to your relationship with time. Those who've cracked the code understand that time is not a straight line. It's not simply past, present, future. Time is a construct, a flexible, responsive field that stretches, bends, and even collapses depending on your energy. In the quantum field, there is no before or after. Past, present, and future all exist simultaneously as pure potential, waiting for your attention to activate them. So when you think of your future, you're not just imagining, you're drafting a blueprint. And those who've cracked the code know how to collapse time by aligning their present energy with the version of the future they want to live in. They don't wait for the future. They pull it into now, where most people see a gap, a distance between where they are and where they want to be. The top see alignment. They focus not on the lack, but on the frequency of their future self. They act, speak, and make decisions as if the future is already here. Because to them, it is. And the universe, it simply mirrors that frequency. This isn't about wishful thinking. It's not just visualizing success or hoping things change. It's about embodiment. Those who've cracked the code embody their future self now. They don't think about having more wealth, freedom, or impact. They live as if it's already true. They walk differently, they speak differently, they choose differently. And because their vibration matches that reality, time collapses, and what should have taken years happens in months. Meanwhile, most people are stuck in a state of waiting for the right time, waiting for external permission to step forward. But waiting creates inertia. It keeps you frozen in the present you're trying to escape. Those who've cracked the code know this. There is no right time. There is only the time you choose to create. If you want to manifest faster, you must stop waiting and start embodying the reality you want to live in. And here's the next key. Action is the bridge between the now and the next, but it's not just any action, it's aligned action. The kind that's infused with the certainty that your future is already unfolding. Those who've cracked the code don't act from lack, they act from knowing. Every step they take carries the energy of the future they've already claimed, and that's what speeds everything up. The mistake most people make is taking action from fear, doubt, or pressure. They try to force outcomes, but the more you push, the more resistance you create. Those who've cracked the code know something different. True power comes from trust. Aligned action is calm, certain, and rooted in flow. They don't obsess over every detail because they know the universe is already working in their favor. This allows them to move through time with ease, bending it instead of chasing it. The final key to bending reality, it lies in your relationship with the universe itself. Those who've cracked the code understand. They're not separate beings trying to muscle their way through life. They're deeply connected to a larger force. Call it the universe, source, or infinite intelligence. And this force is always responding, always guiding, always co-creating. But only if you know how to align with it. The universe operates by laws, vibrational, energetic, and precise. When you live in harmony with those principles, reality bends in your favor. This isn't mysticism, it's practical metaphysics. The universe is always speaking. Those who've cracked the code know how to listen. They notice synchronicities, patterns, and intuitive nudges. They don't brush off gut feelings or call coincidences random. They've trained their awareness to tune in, so they move through life with effortless timing, always in the right place at the right moment. Most people are so busy overthinking, they miss the guidance altogether. But those with the 33rd degree knowledge, they treat life like a conversation. They speak through action, and the universe responds with opportunity. You're not pushing reality, you're co-creating it when you align with the flow of the universe. You stop forcing outcomes. You stop resisting the process. Instead, you become a co-creator. This is the ultimate truth behind 33rd degree wisdom. You are not separate from the universe. You are the universe, expressing itself through human form. When your energy, beliefs, and identity align with universal flow, reality responds, not because you dominate it, but because you've merged with it. The power of letting go. Here's the paradox. You gain control not by gripping tighter, but by surrendering. Most people think surrender is weakness, but in truth, it's the highest form of power. Surrender doesn't mean giving up. It means releasing control over every little outcome and trusting the bigger plan unfolding. Those who've cracked the code have mastered this. They know when to push and when to pause. They've learned to let go of timelines and trust in divine timing. The universe responds to who you are, not to what you wish for, not to what you visualize, not to what you desperately want. It responds to who you are being. Most people set goals and dreams, hoping the universe will deliver. But those who've cracked the code know it's not about wishing, it's about alignment. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions are all in harmony with the reality you want, the universe mirrors it back effortlessly. The universe is like a mirror. It reflects not your desires, but your frequency. Live as if it's already done. The elite don't just think about success. They feel it. They act from it. They live it now. They don't wait for external validation. They embody the energy of the reality they want to experience. And because of that alignment, the world bends to match their inner state. Now, let's go deeper. Co-creation requires movement. It's not enough to align your thoughts. You must act, but action must come from knowing, not needing. Those who've cracked the code don't hustle in fear. They move with grace and confidence, trusting every step is supported. They understand. The universe moves with them, not against them. And every inspired action is part of a larger design. Timing is sacred. This is what separates the aligned from the anxious. Patience. Those who've cracked the code know the universe doesn't work on your deadline. It works on divine alignment. Trying to rush things only creates friction. But when you move in sync with the flow, everything arrives exactly when it should. The most misunderstood principle, surrender, is not passivity, it's mastery. It says, I no longer need to control everything. I trust the intelligence that created stars and galaxies to also guide my path. Those who've cracked the code live this way. They don't cling to rigid expectations. They allow the path to unfold, knowing it's always leading them to something greater than they imagined. And finally, the power of gratitude and presence. This is the closing layer of the 33rd degree. Those who've cracked the code understand. Gratitude is more than just feeling thankful. It's an energetic signal, a declaration that says, I am ready for more. But here's the deeper insight. They aren't just grateful for what has arrived. They're grateful for what's on the way. They live in anticipatory gratitude, thanking the universe before the manifestation shows up. And that energetic certainty, it draws blessings in faster than any strategy or hustle. But none of it works without presence. Those who've cracked the code live fully in the now. They're not trapped in regret or anxiety. They're rooted, aware, and alive in this moment. Because the now is the only point where you can align, create, and receive. Reality doesn't happen to you. You create it. Those who've cracked the code understand a powerful truth. Creation only happens in the present moment. When your mind is stuck in the past or worrying about the future, your energy is scattered. But when you are fully present, you're operating at your highest creative power. The present moment is your only true point of access to shape reality. They don't wait for the future to arrive. They build it through every thought, emotion, and action they take right now. True creation isn't control. It's co-creation. 33rd degree knowledge isn't about forcing the world to your will. It's about aligning with the natural flow of the universe. You don't overpower reality. You collaborate with it. It's about mastering your inner state so you are in sync with the version of reality you want to bring to life. You trust the timing. You act when it is time and surrender when it is not. That's real power and real peace. Reality shifts gradually, not instantly. Reality doesn't shift overnight. It moves like nature, slowly, deliberately, silently. Those who've cracked the code treat their goals like planting a seed. You don't expect a tree the next day. You water it with belief, nourish it with action, and trust that growth is happening, even if you can't see it yet. Most people give up when they don't see results immediately. The elite know that outer reality is always a delayed reflection of inner change. Aligned action are greater than desperate action. That doesn't mean you sit back and wait. Those who've cracked the code are always moving, but they're not acting from fear, pressure, or lack. They move from clarity, from certainty, from inner alignment. And that's why their actions have so much impact and flow. The power of detachment. They've also mastered detachment, not indifference, but emotional freedom from outcomes. They trust the how and when to something greater than their limited control. Paradoxically, this detachment speeds things up. Why? Because when you stop obsessing over what's missing, you shift from the energy of lack to the energy of certainty, and reality reflects that back. Reality is elastic. Those who crack the code know that reality is flexible. It bends, stretches, and reshapes itself in response to your energy. But here's the catch. It requires consistency. It's not one breakthrough that changes your life. It's the daily discipline to align your thoughts, emotions, and actions, even when nothing on the outside has changed yet. That's what separates those who master reality from those who stay stuck in it. Service amplifies power. They also understand a deeper truth. You don't create reality in a vacuum. Every action sends ripples through the collective energy field. That's why the most powerful people often find themselves in leadership roles. Their alignment benefits others, not just themselves. And the more your vision contributes to the greater good, the more universal support you receive. The universe responds powerfully to those who uplift others, not out of martyrdom, but from a place of abundance. Evolve or get stuck. Most importantly, those who crack the code are constantly evolving. They don't cling to old identities or outdated beliefs. They're always asking, what's the next version of me? What's the next level of mastery? They're not limited by who they used to be. They're excited by who they're becoming. That's what keeps them in flow with reality and ahead of the curve. Reality isn't something that happens to you. It's something you create moment by moment, with every thought, every choice, every breath. Once you understand that, the question is no longer, is it possible? It becomes, how far do I want to take this? That's the mindset of those who crack the code. And now, it can be yours too.